Any questions?
No, you should have the questions.
I have, exactly, you're right. I have plenty of questions.
Okay.
Over the sea and far away, she's waiting like an iceberg, waiting to change. But she's cold inside, she wants to be like the water. All the muscles tight.
So that song was Other Side of the World by KT Tunstall, and with me today, there she is herself, the amazing, talented, wonderful, here in Chicago at the Beat Kitchen.
I really like applauding for myself. It's something I've always enjoyed.
Nice, right? I do it too.
Coming up as a singer-songwriter, no one knows who you are. You play on your own and
just applaud for
a little
yourself.
clap at the end.
It's the most important applause, right? You gotta love yourself.
Really, gotta love yourself. It's very true.
Speaking of those early years when you performed, you started as a busker, right? So
I did.
Here is a little busking bucket
I
for us to
never
give some
had
gifts.
anything as fancy as
Yeah,
this.
it's hand weaved actually.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true, but
Hand weaved by a unicorn in
yes,
the forest.
Wonderful. So can you tell us your craziest busking stories?
Yes.
Please.
I'm playing a song and there's a guy sitting. There's a few people sitting, which doesn't happen very often. But
that's nice, though.
He's sitting there listening, and he's writing in a notebook. I was like, what's going on with this dude? And he's writing away, and I'm like, dude is stealing my lyrics.
Wow.
This is like a new song.
That's
And I'm thinking,
nice.
like, he's writing down, because he keeps looking at me and then writing.
It must have been a good song.
I'm like, I don't quite know how to handle this. It's kind of weird. And anyway, at the end of the song, he rips the sheet out, and he folds it up and he puts it in my back. I think it's my guitar case actually, but let's pretend it was my
this
golden
big.
basket. And then he walks away. And I was like, this is weird. And I open the note, and it's quite a long note.
Not your lyrics though.
No, it says that he was suicidal.
Oh wow.
And he was really struggling with depression, and he was going to kill himself. And he sat and listened to my music, and it made him not want to kill himself anymore.
That's amazing.
And I'm not saying that I am capable of like
you're not a hero,
keeping people alive, but it was certainly a super memorable moment of busking and of really communicating with music.
Well, music saves lives. That's what
does.
said.
It really does. I believe that.
Well, next but not least, we're gonna go throw it back again to when you were in the band Oi Voy.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we got your little Harvard tuba.
I was basically
Look
like,
at that. You want to try that on?
Yeah, I was like a kind of. I was like I had complementary Jewishness in me.
Yes, you were by Jewish.
It goes kind of towards the back, right?
Yes. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a great and
I have absolutely no idea what I was saying. So I learned it phonetically. And everyone was like, oh, you sound so good. I had no
great accent.
idea what I was saying. Still no idea what I was saying.
That's
but
awesome.
it was just a wonderful experience because it was a culture I'd never experienced.
Yeah.
It was music that I didn't know.
Well, your song Suddenly I See is in my all-time favorite movie, The Devil Wears Prada.
He was going to say that it was his all-time favorite song.
It is also my all-time favorite song.
Fine. You gave me a birthday card. It's fine.
I'm sorry. Moving on, but it is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
I'm sure you've seen it.
And only just 10 years old.
I know. Just
right?
had its 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I follow it on Twitter.
Bit of tweeting.
Oh, yes. Very good.
Yeah.
Great movie.
But that movie changed my life.
Changed your life how?
Changed my life. It was like being given the key to an Alice Through the Looking Glass experience of just having that as a huge hit. Suddenly, I was big in Japan.
Suddenly you saw that.
Suddenly I saw that I was big in Japan because the Japanese fans are huge fashion fans. The funny thing was though that they thought that I was like a big fashionista because my son was a movie.
Are you a big fashionista?
I'm much more into fashion now than I was then.
Okay.
But I really didn't know.
You're sort of
I
like
didn't
Andy
know my
from the
fashion
movie.
onions. I was like Anne Hathaway in the movie.
Yes. I'm more of a Miranda Priest.
So they brought, good for you.
Oh,
they brought me over to Japan to do like a huge 9-page like fashion shoot. And I was like, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing these crazy like fluffy jackets and handbags that are in the shapes of dogs and things. As far as favorite movies go, I like slightly more odd and subversive movies.
Like what do you mean by
I love
odd?
Kubrick. I love Stanley Kubrick.
Oh my God,
so
great. We were just watching
I would
Kubrick
say
movie
like
the other day.
The Shining and
Oh, that is a great movie.
The Shining in 2001 are in my top 3, and the third one kind of fluctuates.
Well, you ready for a lightning round? It's been going fast already,
yeah.
but let's go lightning. We brought you some Cookie Crisp.
I don't even know what they are.
Whoa! Well, welcome to America, where cookies are breakfast.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
This is like
cookies.
Exactly what you shouldn't give your children.
It's not a great lesson, but shout out to Cookie Crisp. Tastes good though.
They're really good.
So, if you were an animal, which one would you be?
And a sea eagle.
A sea eagle?
Yeah.
Like a seagull?
No, a seagull. A sea-eagle.
Next but not least, craziest tour story.
No one's gonna beat the 70s for
Of
like
course.
drugs, sex, and rock and roll. So
True.
I'll give you my coolest tour story.
Not related to drugs.
Not related to drugs or
Perfect.
sex, which is probably maybe boring for you, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear it.
Anything besides drugs and sex is boring. True.
See, I think some people really think that when
Really?
it comes to rock and roll.
Well, you know what?
It's not true.
Teach them a lesson. Let's get this story going.
So I got a phone call from my manager, and my manager says, "You have to get in a cab to Heathrow right now, the airport in London." I was like, "Why?" And he said, "Because Steve Jobs just called."
Boom.
Boom!
Boom! Oh, you didn't think there was going to be sex or drugs with other Steve Jobs?
Exactly, Steve Jobs.
That's even cooler. Keep going. We're ready.
So-
you have them on the edge of their seats.
Steve Jobs is called. He said, "Would you like to have sex and do drugs with me?"
Boom!
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. It's for the iTouch and the Nano were being released
I
to
should
the
have brought
world.
a Nano. I should have gotten you a Nano.
Should.
Would have been a good birthday gift.
Should have done his research. That would have been a really nice gift, actually. But I like the card.
The card is a good start.
That's great. And the basket. So I'm going to play the keynote speech with my loop pedal. He really liked that I used technology with my performance. I have to get in a taxi within a few hours. I go to Heathrow. I get taken to the private jet area. And like it's an Austrian crew, and they're like, "Oh no, okay, please come on board. We will give you some lobster." And we did actually.
Lobster on a plane?
We actually got some fresh.
Lobster on a plane is way cooler than anything
lobster
else.
on a plane. I am whisked at like 77,000 feet at warp speed to San Francisco.
Boom.
Have a little sleep on the plane. I get there. We're escorted by security into the building. You have to get security escorting you to the bathroom because they're like. So,
That's how famous I want to be one day.
That's
Bathroom
it's
security.
it's so sensitive that
Yeah.
you don't tweet any information about the product. And then finally, I get on stage. This is where the sex part comes in.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you think it's not going to be as good as you think it is now. Anyway, so Steve Jobs introduces me, and so he's like, "Oh, she uses her pedal, blah blah blah, and she's so great." And he goes on the microphone in his jeans and his polo neck, and he's
Yeah,
like,
tries to make a joke.
and he just goes, "She's so hot."
And you're like, "Damn, Steve
I
Jobs."
Nano.
Katie Tunstall, this is Harvard Radio, WHRB 95.3 in Cambridge. Thank you.
Clapping myself.
Thank you. You're a hero.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. You think we're damp enough? Let's check it out.
You know I have to wear this at the gig now.
Yeah, now you do. You're gonna have to be like, "Yo." They're gonna be like, "Yo, new tat." Everyone's gonna be like,
Meow, 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 meow.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it. Oh God. Oh God. Did we do it right? Oh. Katie Tunstall, greatest ever. Suddenly I See is gonna play us out. Buh, 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 buh.
Suddenly I see, this is what I wanna be. Suddenly I see, why the hell it means so much.
You can eat them like a normal cookie, like in small bites, and it kind
Oh.
of makes you feel like a giant. Ho, ho, ho.
My giant. That's my giant.